invocation, and then followed by our pledge of allegiance.
Let us pray. God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of this community and for the opportunity to gather here this evening. We ask you to bless our town of Lebanon, its leaders, its family, and all those who serve the common good. We ask you to grant wisdom to this council as they meet and take decisions. May all the deliberations here this evening contribute to the common good, the peace, and progress of all who call this town their home. In a very special way, we pray for the Keithley family and for the soul of their loved one who passed away. May you grant him peace in the bosom of God, our Heavenly Father. We make our prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sure on behalf of myself and the members of the council, you know that you and your entire family are in thoughts and prayers. And we're certainly sorry for your loss of Miss Billy.
Thank you, and I really appreciate everything y'all done, kind words, leaders. I'd like to thank all the employees of the town, full council. For business not on the agenda, does any council member have anything to add this evening? Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Also received minutes from our regular meeting on October 14th. I hope everyone's had a chance to review those. Are there any additions or editing that need to be done to those minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the October meeting?
So moved, Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have an addition, we received our accounts payable plus the addition here. Is that correct, Drew?
Yes, sir, Mayor.
You got anything else other than what you presented here?
No, sir, just those extra stations.
Very good.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the October accounts payable along with the additions presented.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the October accounts payable.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Motion and second, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. This time I will call a joint public hearing with the 10-11 Planning Commission to consider. It looks to me we have 4 applications. Is that right, Madam Chair?
Yes.
4. So at this time, we'll ask our Planning Commission to come forward. And we'll come down there. Slow down. How you doing? Oh, I just need to get a copy.
Before we get started, we're just going to explain really the procedure of how this works, so everyone understands. When someone submits the application, what we do is we let them come up and explain the application, and all of those that are in favor of the application can come up and speak. And we have the ability to then ask questions. Then anyone that is against the application also can come up and speak. And we can ask them questions. And then we can have further discussion, and then I'll ask for a motion to approve the application and a second. And then if we receive that, then we will vote on that. And then what we do is we make our recommendation to the town council. And it is a recommendation. The town council has the final say on whether the application is approved or denied. Okay, so Diane, do you want to go ahead and read the first application?
Yes, ma'am. Russell County Board of Supervisors have applied for an application for rezoning of the property at 383 Overlook Drive from a R2 General Dwelling District to a C1 Commercial District. All adjacent property owners have been notified.
Okay, so is there someone here from the Russell County Board of Supervisors?
Where's this property?
It's out there, house, isn't it?
It's
Next
at
on the web.
383 Overlook Drive.
I believe it's for the
Oh,
new
It's
animal
for
shelter.
the animal shelter, and I
Yes.
think it's across from the house. Okay, is there anyone here against the application to speak?
I'm not against it, I just wanted to know where it was, because on the map, it put it right on our property.
Right on
You know,
your property?
Yeah, but that's the maps on this phone, so I don't trust that. I'm assuming that it was on that property.
Okay, Drew, do you want to?
the property I'm sure is the Board of Supervisors property. That GIS is just, you can't go by, it's not exact right on there. But
Okay.
it is probably, when you look up there, the owner of it's Board of Supervisors for Russell County. Yes, sir.
What is on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
Because it's a rezoning.
Yeah, it's the same one, same GIS.
Okay. Is there any more discussion about this application? Okay. Is there a motion to approve this application?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. And all in favor?
Ah,
Okay. All right. Diane, do you want to read the second one?
Yes, ma'am. An application submitted by Stewart and Associates for conditional use permit for professional office, real estate office, which is located at 460 East Main Street in a R2 General Dwelling District. All adjacent property owners have been notified.
Okay. Do you want to come up and tell us about the application? Just,
Well, apparently I'm applying for this because I'm trying to get a Tennessee license. And in the midst of our application, they asked us about our zoning letter. So I went to my friend Diane and I said, I need a zoning letter. Well, then she told me I have been operating for 10 years without a zoning letter. So I'm respectfully requesting a zoning letter today for my real estate company on Main Street.
okay. So, am I understanding it right, that this is a conditional use
it's
Yeah.
conditional use.
for a professional office in an R2.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, is there any questions for B? Okay. Is there anyone against this application that would like to speak? Okay. Do we have a motion
I'll make that motion
to approve the
to
application?
approve it.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you.
You can still real estate up there.
I can go to work now.
Okay, Diane, we're ready for number 3.
Okay. An application submitted by Jason or Brenda Lankin for rezoning of the property between 485 and 595 Cleveland Road from a R2 general dwelling district to a C1 commercial district. All adjacent property owners have been notified.
Okay, is Jason or Dreamer Lampkin here?
I'm here.
Okay, why don't you come on up here to the podium and just tell us about this application.
The application is just to fence in part of the property, 100 by 50 spot. Three Valley Towing is going to be storing repossessed vehicles there just short term, and maybe some wrecks that will be fenced in, a privacy fence. So I'm calling you know more about what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's all it is. We just want to move it up there from Hansonville to where we can just store repossessions and maybe a few wrecks here and there. There'll be no junk cars, no cars without wheels, or nothing like that. As long as someone will be there, it'll probably be 15 to 20 days, and they'll be transported out. And there'll be a privacy fence all the way around with a gate and cameras.
Is that where the Asplund? Yeah, okay, that's my problem. It's just before you go out of town.
Privacy fence, do you mean that you're not going to be able to see
Right.
in? Okay. All right. Are there any more questions or discussion about this? Okay. Is there anyone here that opposes this application? Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve this.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Number 4, Diane.
An application submitted by Randall or Rose Stinson in Southern Towers for conditional use permit to place a 150 feet telecommunications facility at 11 West Main Street at the rear of the property, which is located in the C1 commercial district. All adjacent property owners have been notified.
Okay. Andy, do you want to speak in favor of this application?
Southern Tower.
Okay, come on up. And just tell us your name and tell us more about.
Okay, my name is Tammy Allen. I actually work for Aerosmith Development, and I am the agent for Southern Towers for this project. This project, we are looking to install a 150-foot monopole. That would be one of those single metal poles. Kind of reminds me like a light pole, you know, how it's a single. It's going to have a 6-foot fence around it, around a 50 by 60 lease area. Y'all have a copy of the? Okay,
Yes.
yeah, so if you look at, to me, the sheet Z2, to me, like it gives you a better idea of what the project's going to look like. So you're going to access the lease area from Church Street or Church Avenue, and then
Not sure.
it's
We got a Z1.
Z1, oh, you don't have a Z2, of course, a Z1
I've
is
got them here.
hard for me to see. I'll put my glasses on, so I can see it, okay.
And then we have other pictures, but
Okay. So, on the Z1, so you can see like, the white line, how it, comes off of Church Street. So that's gonna be the access to the lease area. And where you see like the line with the X's, that shows where the lease area is gonna be. So it's 50 by 60, so it's right behind the building. And it'll be a 150-foot monopole, there'll be a 6-foot fence, and it'll have the 3-strand barbed wire around the top of it to prevent people from climbing into it. So the intention of the 150-foot monopole is so that other, initially you have the one carrier that shows interest, and then what you do is, once people like Southern Travelers gets it through zoning, what they do is then they approach the other carriers, let them know they have zoning approval, and then they try to get other carriers to come on towers. That way it eliminates lots of towers being in the area.
so there could be multiple things that are hooked on to this tower.
Correct. That is correct. Yeah, we call those antenna arrays. I saw one coming in. I don't remember the road it came in from. Sorry about that. Okay. I saw on the right-hand side coming in to Lebanon. I think there might have been more than one antenna laying. But that's the intention, is to try to get multiple carriers on it. And then there is enough lease area in here. You can barely see on that Z1 where it looks like that there's place in here for three carriers in that area.
Does anyone have any questions?
I've got, and I'm not really schooled on it, but is this going to have a lot of 5G capability on this? Do you know that?
It probably will have the 5G, because that's what everyone is going to. So it kind of helps the capacity that you get with using your cell phone. That's the new technology that's out there.
I've always I hear a lot of good and I hear a lot of negative about 5G. I'm just not well versed in to know what's true.
I have a question about, it looked like there were several places that would fit within the zone, several people's property.
Okay?
And I had a question about, it sounded like maybe some of them you couldn't contact, or they didn't respond to you,
Correct.
or was that like on one phone call, or did you?
It's multiple phone calls. So I started this like early 2023. So that's how long that I've been working on this. And so I made a bunch of phone calls. There were some that I did get in touch with. There was one gentleman, I don't know if I put it in here, he's actually looking to redevelop his property. The issue is that you have to find enough space to accommodate, because you do want to make sure that you have enough room for multiple carriers. Yeah, so there was a total of 6 people that I looked in that area. They call it a ring. So if you look at, did they get a copy of this one? So if you can look at either one of the attachments, either 1, 2, or 3, you'll see like a red lined area. It's not shaped like a ring, but they refer to it as a ring. So you can see that that's the area that the carrier was looking to place a tower. They said in order for us to be able to achieve our objective, we're looking at this. So it's not a very large area. So yeah.
But you did try the others.
Correct. Yeah, you can see the response to it.
Yeah, I did. I mean, a lot of it says did not respond. So
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was like, was it one phone call or was it?
I'll tell you, personally, I call and call and call. I make a pest of myself. You know, because even if it's a no, I really want to hear a no, but then you get to a point where you're like, okay, well, you've made enough attempts.
And what about, the med-flight app?
Is that, you're talking about the flight?
Yes, the
Okay.
helicopter for medical emergencies.
So, Southern Towers, if they haven't filed the FAA yet, they'll file to make sure that it's okay, that the height of the tower is okay. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy of that, but typically, once you get your surveyor out there, you get your 1A, and you have the coordinates, and you know the height, you know the ground elevation, you send that to the FAA. It usually takes about 8 weeks, and then they tell you whether or not you get an approval of the zoning the FAA determination.
So have you gotten that approval?
I don't have a copy of that.
Was Southern Tower gotten the approval?
I don't have the answer to that this evening. I can follow up with them to see if they've done their FAA determination yet.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be a consideration.
Okay, and then,
Yeah, the hospital sits right behind that location with the health pad.
Okay, all right.
That's a major concern.
Okay, all right.
yeah. And, do you know of any, like what David brought up about health hazards with 5G, the radioactive?
There are a lot of studies out there. I'm not an expert, but there are a lot of studies out there that if you need to see something like that, that could be another thing that I can, we can table this and I can go back to them and say, hey, can you get that report for me? Can you get the FAA report for me? And I can bring that back to you.
Okay. I guess my last question is, did this come about? Why did this come about? Because is there a problem with Verizon cell service in our town?
Yes, so the carriers are responsible for, they have to follow federal guidelines and when they provide service. And what they do is they get these reports and then they look at, there's a capacity issue here. And it's in I've got a copy of it. I don't think I gave it to you with the application, Andrew, but it was, what we asked them to do is they do plots, so then they tell you like where the dead areas are. So there is a capacity issue in this area, and I can see like right where the downtown is, there is a problem. So they're trying to improve coverage here.
I live right in town, I've never had a problem. And like we said, when 4,000 or 5,000 people were here with our events, I've never heard a complaint with service or not being able to get it.
Okay, I can provide you a copy of their report that they did to show you where those areas are. And then what they do is they run it based on before the tower and then after the tower, how it's going to improve that particular area. So I can get that report to you as well.
I've got another question on that. I know you're saying that it needs to be located in town, in the center of town, basically, for service. Is that because of the size and power capabilities of that tower, or could a larger tower be put outside the town and still give you the capacity?
We looked outside of Lebanon. We looked in the county, and our rep looked at it, and they said it won't meet the objectives. So that's why that gave us like almost like a inverted L shape, and so it has to be in this area over here. But we did look at that, looking at the ways to see if they could still meet their objective somewhere else, and they just can't.
I I'm assuming this tower would have all kinds of flashing lights on it at night.
That is dictated by the FAA. So typically, if it's 200 feet or above, they require the towers to be lit. The FAA, when you file your determination with them, they tell you whether or not it has to be lit, and if it does, they tell you what kind of lights it has to be on it.
But there's several houses right behind that, I mean, just as close as to here to the end of this building. So that would be my concern,
Okay.
the residents.
Whenever I get that FAA determination, that would also tell whether or not that the FAA is requiring that tower to be lit as well.
I guess my main concern is the fact that I know our town has worked really hard on the revitalization and with the appearance of our town. And this is gonna be a 150-foot pole with the possibility, capability of multiple things attached to it in a historic district.
Yeah, we are currently working with the local State Historic Preservation Office. So they, we met with them, gosh, sometime this year. So, so we are working with them because they did notify us to let us know that there is actually a site located, I think they said it was east of where the tower is.
And I know we had met a couple times, and thank you so much, it's been super easy to work with. I had a comment from the Virginia Department of Historical Resources that said, we believe that the proposed tower will have an effect on the Lebanon Historical District, which is determined eligible for the listing on the National Register. In order to ensure that the effect is not adverse, we request that the applicant explore measures to reduce visual effects of the proposed towers. These may include reducing the height of the tower to the greatest extent possible, but it still achieves the desired coverage area, finding an alternative location, or employing a stealth design. And I think this was when the application was originally 185 foot.
Exactly.
Is the 150, is that the lowest it can go with the coverage? And can you explain what a stealth design is?
So 150 was the lowest. We got with the RF and we said, okay, we heard back from shipowner. And so they came back and said 150 and a stealth design. I don't know if you've ever seen like fake trees. So you might see a pine tree, and you'll see the branches and the antennas are hidden behind. So that's typically the typical design when you say to camouflage something. That's the typical design.
Any other questions for her? Well, we appreciate you coming.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Is there anyone here to speak against this application? No? Do I have a motion to approve this application? No. Okay, then the permit application fails due to a lack of motion.
Do you want to receive that additional information, table it for the time being, receive that additional information she's offered to make a vote on?
Be the correct thing to do.
Okay, then we can table it. Do I need a motion for that?
Probably, yeah.
Do I have a motion to table it?
Yes, so moved.
Second?
A second.
Okay. All in favor?
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
What's the lady's name? I'm sorry. Where's she at?
This little-
What's your last name?
Llewellyn?
Okay. Do you have the information, do you know everything that the planning commission is requesting?
So
We need,
the
she
height,
needs
the
to know,
lights.
so you all can,
Okay, well, what we talked about was the medical light path, and then we talked about the health hazard
5G, yes.
and with the 5G And it's
The residents right behind her.
That's the longest.
the lighting,
Yep.
the lighting that would be on it.
How long was it to get the FAA information?
Oh, gosh, what does government shut down? I don't know, I don't know what their backlog is right now, but if they have it, it shouldn't, I mean, I can probably get it sometime this week.
Well, I think one of the main things is that mid-flight path.
Yeah,
Probably gonna need, they're gonna need to know that,
yeah, exactly.
okay?
Okay,
Then you got, with the health concerns, is the schools right there,
Mhm.
you got a church right under it, you got the hospital, all of them, 300-400 yards in each direction, not counting all the homes.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Take a trip back home.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Keep your mom straight if you can.
I'm sorry?
Keep your mom straight if you can. Good luck to
She's
you.
more stubborn than me.
Surely not.
Okay. That's right. Might just stay home.
Yeah, that part was right. Very good. This time I'll close the joint public hearing with the town and our planning commission, and we'll ask the chair for any recommendations they have to council. You probably need to do those one at a time.
Okay,
Is that right, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
okay. So, for the Russell County Board of Supervisors going from R2 to C1 for the animal shelter, our recommendation is to approve.
Do I have a motion to approve the application submitted by the Russell County Board of Supervisors?
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, for Stewart and Associates at 460 East Main Street, requesting a conditional use permit in R2 for a professional office. Our recommendation was to approve.
I'll make that motion we approve.
Got a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. For the application submitted by Jason and Drina Lampton, requesting rezoning from R2 to C1 in the area between 485 and 595 Cleveland Road for a Green Valley towing storage. Our recommendation is to approve.
Approve. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And for the application submitted by Southern Towers, Randy Stinson or Rosemarie Stinson for a 150-foot monopole for telecommunication purposes, we tabled that. decisions for further information on health as well as MedLife Pass.
After the council, Ms. Lockwood, we're going to thank you and your members for your service on the planning commission and for coming with these recommendations for us tonight. Appreciate your service. Mr. Nathan Brown.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Good to see you. It's been a little while since we stood here, so.
At least we don't have an easel.
We don't have an easel this time. I know, I couldn't make it walking in here without any drawings to show.
That's right, you just come to talk.
Just come to talk.
All right.
I wanted to give you an update on the progress of the projects that we're working on at the West Main Streetscape expansion here on this end of town, and then the east entrance landscape enhancements on the east end of town out where Main Street intersects with 460. You want the good news or bad news?
Neither.
We don't want bad news.
No, I'll give you the good news. It's all good news. But the West Main Streetscape expansion plans are what I would say 90% ready for pricing, for bidding. And we've worked with the geotechnical engineer to make sure that the wall is going to fit nicely in there with the rock that needs to be hammered out, no subsidence of the slope and all that good stuff. And worked with AEP, Drew and I worked with AEP and Jim Porter to get the lights, the VDOT standards out through there. And I actually met with VDOT, with Jeff and John just last week, and walked them through all the aspects of the West Main project. And they are in favor of all that and don't see any issue with any of it. So with that sort of verbal approval from them, those plans can be finished up and ready for pricing pretty soon. On the east end, we worked up the plans, got the survey from Bailey Engineering, and I worked up the plans and talked with Jeff and John as well. You all know that there are some tricky easements out there on that portion, and so they didn't have any issues with the proposed curbing and the sodding and the signs we talked about putting out there, but they do have to run it through the Bristol office, and then if it approves from the Bristol office, it goes to Richmond for a sign-off. I don't know how long that takes. Jeff can't tell me how long that'll take, and so we'll just be pleasantly annoying until we get an answer. But nonetheless, those two projects are very favorable in VDOT's eyes here in our local office anyway, and I appreciate those men taking time to review that and give us good feedback. So that sort of brings us to a point that I do need some input from the council on, and that is the bidding process and sort of the timing of this. I think it's probably safe to say the east entrance plans won't be ready until January to go out to bid, but we could have the West Main Streetscape plans ready in December. So in looking at my schedule going forward, I was going to recommend tonight and have your input to bid both projects in January pending the approval from VDOT for the east entrance. That would give you a month to bid it in January. Bids come back in February, review, negotiate, whatever it might be, and then hopefully start construction in the spring. But if anybody has any other ideas or desires in terms of the bidding timing and construction timing, I'm all ears, and we'll be willing to be flexible as we need to.
January and February, I don't know how you feel about a 60-day bid? Does that give people enough time, that gives more people enough time to?
It does.
I don't know we don't know whether, even if we approved in February, if this indication that we're living in the last 2 days, it's an indication of the winter that's coming.
Sure.
I don't know, but I'm good with either one.
My only concern about a long bid period, number one, is that someone says, okay, I'll take these plans and look at them, and then they put them to the side and get busy.
Okay.
And then they don't. The other thing is pushing into March and April, contractors are scheduling.
Okay.
Right, they're scheduling through the winter time. So if we can get on somebody's radar screen, and even if they didn't start until April, that's okay. But if you don't let them know until April, then it's August or September before they can get to work.
So you're saying bid it in January, you'll have info back for the February council meeting to talk about?
That would be the hope. Yes, sir. The loose schedule, yeah. And that way we could, by March or April, we'll be ready to break ground.
What's the pleasure of the council?
My thought, Nathan, are you sure you don't want to do December bid for this in town? Because that is tied in. It's very important on the timing of that project.
Okay.
Because of the VDOT funding structure that we're going to have basically broke down into fiscal years.
Right.
So I'm just concerned, everything seems like it always takes longer than anticipated and planned.
Sure.
So if we didn't have to do it an extra month, I'd like to do a December and January bid, one for each. That's just me and my thought.
So
Because if you're going to be prepared, if it's 90% prepared and you're ready in December,
Yeah,
I'd like to be ready to go in January as far as
Okay.
awarding a bid, and then we could plan on the construction phase and timing, and maybe have a timeline that we can nail down.
Sure.
So we can align that with our VDOT maintenance program in 2 fiscal years in the funding.
Okay. I don't have an issue with that at all, and I think it would be fine. Just understand it's going across the Christmas holiday and New Year holiday, and so, you know, most of those guys aren't gonna work through that whole week, and so we may, when's the council meeting gonna be, January? Y'all know yet?
be the second Tuesday. As well, I believe it's on, is it a Monday or Tuesday to do that day?
It's a Monday, it'll be January
It's a
12th.
Monday, so if we could,
Are you saying, oh, the January meeting?
yes, sir, that's when the bids will be back. So what I'm thinking is if we could issue, what are we, the 10th of November now, so if we can be ready to issue the bid package on West Main, 1st of December, then that'll give them 5 weeks across Christmas and New Year's. And that ought to be sufficient. That's no problem, yeah.
And I'm good at publishing those as soon as you prepare them. If it gives us 6 weeks before January
Sure,
12th, or
sure.
7 weeks, or 5 weeks, or as soon as you complete those, just move forward. I mean, I would like to move forward.
You know how architects are, we gotta have a date, we got a deadline. So,
Are you talking about both projects or just the west end?
Just the west.
Just the west
Okay.
end. That's the one that's 90%.
and has VDOT
Right,
sign
gotcha.
off and, yeah.
So also, just to reiterate on the split budget of July 1st for VDOT,
Okay.
we probably need to set a guaranteed start date. Not necessarily guaranteed completion, but in this situation, a guaranteed start, because if they start in late June,
It's gonna be tricky.
well, I mean, I guess what we'd have to do is actually prepay half the project. It just throws a wrench in there due to our fiscal year stopping and starting on July 1.
I understand, sure.
For maintenance.
Sure.
So that's something that we need to consider.
Do you have a gut feeling as to when you would like to see it start, so that crosses over in a comfortable place?
Do you have a gut feeling on how long it would take them to complete the
Or what?
project? Complete the project.
The good news is,
Start to finish.
the good
And I'll give
news
you my
is,
gut.
the AEP and Jim Porter has always been good to work with.
Yeah.
And they allow us to pay a schedule based
Okay.
on percent of completion or pay at the end of the project at
Okay.
completion. So that's the good news, and that's the majority of the cost of the project is the lighting project. So that gives us a little bit of leeway as far as if we have to pay the contractor to start and then pay the lighting and the AEP on the back end in the new fiscal year.
Actually, we had that, is that the rough estimate, that about 150,000 on your side, Nathan, when you did that presentation? I think we had the wall project and the ceiling project all in one fiscal year budget. The lighting was the only thing that was busted up in
Split.
2 separate years.
So my gut feeling is, there's a lot of variables out there.
Actually, I don't think the wall,
It's probably not gonna be as much
the
as,
wall project, did they approve that?
just get it past December.
Yes.
I agree, I think so, yeah.
Really?
There is a variable there with the
It's in
rock,
that.
you know, removing the rock and all that, and that's a lot of weather dependency kind of thing, but
Nathan, what do you think about us, like during the holiday breaks, Thanksgiving and Christmas, while school's not in, starting the construction, whatever you wanna call it, and just doing some core work with that hillside, just to see what we get into as well, like even during the bidding process, because school will be out, traffic will be will that, you know, obviously right here on Main Street.
Sure, it'll be less. That's a good question, and maybe something we can ask or talk about before we issue the bids, but what the town would like to do, you know, labor-wise versus what we're gonna bid out. But, you know, the trees that are on top of that slope, I mean, those things can come down anytime. So, you know, if that's a day's work or 2 days worth of work, that would be a great start. And then, you know, the rock work is gonna be what it is. I mean, you just gotta get in there with a hammer and get started and see how it goes. But I think a lot of that could be done, and if that's not in the bid package, then we just tell the bidders that work is being prepared by the town, you know, and their part is what we allocate out in the bid package.
But we may need them, that may be part of the project as well, as contracting that out, correct? Just depending on what once we get in there and see.
Yeah, and we may just have to put language in there like, town reserves the right to ask the successful bidder to bid on, you know, excavation work or whatever, and we can quantify that at some point.
Nathan, as always, we appreciate your efforts in helping us with our projects,
It's an honor.
as well as the updates that you've given us on the east and west. Any other council member have a question for Nathan while he's with us?
Yes, sir.
The picture on the front of that Ford, when it showed that wall in front of the property, as a single wall, it's gonna be a double wall like this.
No, sir, it will not.
Not, it's gonna be one straight wall.
It'll be one straight wall.
There's another picture.
Shows it there.
There.
That's right, yes, sir, that's what it's gonna look like. That picture on the front, Mr. Kager, was just a precedent image to show the pattern of the wall, and that was just off the manufacturer's website.
That's what I was wondering.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it very
you,
much.
Nathan,
We'll be
appreciate
in
it.
touch.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Likewise, thank you, sir.
Okay. First out under new business, I received a call from Will. Who did I tell you, Diane, that called about this?
I think you told me, just give me the group's name.
It's a group, the Daughters of the American Revolution organization has requested that in preparation of the 250th anniversary of our nation's birthday, as you can see, they'd like to place a park bench in the Veterans Park. So I think that would, at their cost, and I think it'd be a great thing to have as part of the 250th birthday of our nation. And the Daughters of the American Revolution, we appreciate their efforts and what they do.
Do they have an idea on location?
No, it'll be up to us and Drew show. So, need a motion so we can let them know. Gray's her name, Miss Gray.
Brenda.
Yeah, Giles is her husband,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Brenda.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Oh, we're a little slow there.
Yeah, it was, that's right.
Did you get everybody, Diane? I guess that was unanimous. All right, next is we need to set the December employee Christmas and the meeting of the council. So what date are you thinking, Drew, Diane, what do y'all?
Do we do the Christmas dinner the same day as our meeting?
We do, remember we meet in the afternoon
So
at
whatever
1:30.
December,
Is it the second Monday, Drew, that we all, or
Yes,
Diane?
it'll be December the 8th.
So what, and I believe we've been doing that at 11:30. And then the meeting, we'll need to make a motion to set the December council meeting for the 8th at 1:30. And to set the date for employee Christmas dinner at 11:30.
And you want the location application.
Bonanza, is that the same place? So do we have a motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion. The 8th at 1:30 for a meeting, and the 8th at 11:30 at Bonanza for the dinner.
For the employees. Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Sheriff, he called me, well, I guess one day last week. I think it's in our information packet. We've got some other pictures here regarding a disaster response vehicle. It's in our agenda packet. Sheriff, we'll let you come forward with your request. It's good to see you, Bill. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for what you do. We found a truck, it's up in Richlands. It's a heavy-duty rescue truck. Right now we have one, but it's a little bit smaller than what we may need. We've got an opportunity to purchase this one in a purchase process, $17,500. Captain William Puckett's kind of headed up this little project with Richlands where he used to work. So with the funding that we have with the Sheriff's Office, we were actually needing about $6,000, $6,500, something like that, whatever the town, if they so desire to kick in, to put towards this truck. What this truck would be used for is any type of disaster that Russell County would have, or Haskell County, wherever it would be needed. So, you know, wind, water, fire, anything like that. It's a heavy-duty rescue truck. It could house all of our equipment, jaws alive, rakes, fire extinguishers, chainsaws, anything that would support, you know, the disaster that we'd be facing. You know, a little over a year ago, who would ever thought that a hurricane would put Southwest Virginia in bullseye? Unfortunately, the weather patterns have changed a little bit, and we don't know what's coming next. The town does have, you know, Cedar Creek, which floods quite frequently. You have Phil's Trailer Park down there that takes on a lot of heavy water, and Twin Circle Drive, so that's kind of a flood zone. Big Cedar down through there. Wind could hit anywhere. You have natural valley, Green Valley, if it hops over, could wreak havoc here in the town. And then you have fire issues that could happen at any time. So we're requesting, you know, any funding that could help us purchase this truck. The other truck will be sold. We could put it on gov deals and send it out. But William said he needed, you know, somewhere in that neighborhood to kick in for the funding to actually help. So here to answer any questions anybody would have of what its purpose or anything.
Where would it be housed?
Okay, so right now, we have a building that is being loaned to us, which is the old Bostic Ford building. Clyde Stacy has been gracious enough to let us into that building and store all of our stuff. Paint, fire department stuff's been taken there and being stored until they can figure out what they're gonna do. But we needed a place that we could house this equipment without it being destroyed by the weather. One of the floods at Belfast, which over the course of like 3 years, you know, they've had like 4 or 5 floodings right there. Got called out that night, come down to back behind dispatch, hadn't had that blue truck very long. Jumped in, went to crank it, and it was like click, 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 let him start. So I had to boost it off, and it's not a place where you can battery tend it, keep it in out of the weather, keep your tires from dry rotting, the weather destroying things. So right now we'd be housed there. Now we've been talking to Jeff Kinder about a building. We do have land behind the probation area just above the sheriff's office that the county gave us. We're planning on building a large building up there as soon as the county can get funds, and it would be ours. And that would be where it would be housed, right here in the town of Lebanon. So, and it's at not just my disposal, my department's disposal. If Eric Deskin said, I need your truck, you know, what's mine is yours, all you have to do is come get it. So, you know, we make that shareable, and that's how I feel about my department and my equipment, so we all work together.
So there's a $6,500 shortfall bill?
That's what we look at told me, yes.
Is that equipped?
Pardon me?
Is it equipped?
No, we do have the equipment. There are some things on it, you know, all the lights and things of that nature, and the winches and things like that, but it's like a big crash truck. Looks kind of like a fire truck, but it's a crash truck. It has the open doors and the walk-through where you can, you know, get things real easily. Right now we have an old truck that has like the slide-up doors that you push up, kind of like a Pepsi truck, you know, and it has the bins in it. It works, it does work, but we're looking for something that may serve us better in our citizens in case something was to happen.
It looks like a $200,000 truck to me.
It is, you know, you get a lot of these fire departments and things that come in, and they, you know, the newer things and larger departments have a larger budget, and they surplus stuff, and they want to get something bigger and better, and they wind up getting that, and they want to, you know, push that out. So we knew the people and made it available, and we could get it at a very good price, a whole lot lower than what they was asking off
Did
the
you
government.
say 17.5?
$17,500
For that truck.
for that truck.
I know, I was thinking you was coming here for, I know we paid for our last fire truck.
You think there's a zero that's missing off of it, that's what you'd be thinking, yeah. But no, he's got friends in Richlands, and I think they bought something that they could use better, and where he has the connections there, and they said, well, let's have it for this.
Drew and Chief, do we know how much of our current asset seizure balance is restricted and not restricted? Do we know that? I mean, is
I actually just looked at it not long ago. I mean, I think we have, the money's in there.
I know the money's in there, but I just wondered what's restricted of that, you know, that total and what's not restricted.
The last time that I spoke to Beverly about it, the amount that we had at our disposal would absolutely cover what he's asking for. I mean, I think she would probably know a lot more about that than I would, but I know when we were talking about it, you know.
Well, we've also talked about spending those funds and asking for forgiveness later, if, you know, if ever dime wasn't. I guess it has to be approved by the judge. Is that correct? Like when.
So, and Mr. Bill may actually know a little bit more about it, but it's my understanding, you know, as long as it's something that can remain inventoriable, like you can't spend it on an individual officer of like kits that are used and it can't, as long as something can remain inventoriable, I think you're allowed to use it. And I think the money's there to show with the way the DTF is working, it showed that it's going to be there, so I mean. And I can tell you from personal experience, you know, there's never been a time that I've called Sheriff Watson and asked for anything that he's even hesitated about whatever resource he has and bring it straight to the town. I feel like we would absolutely benefit from that.
They'd like to build a big building, you know, everybody knows what I'm talking about behind there. So the county gave us that land to build it, and we're looking at the possibility of partnering with Representative Baptist Church and that GO team, where does the Southern Baptist disaster relief thing, and building a large-scale building there in the back, and then actually having a few of the pads for like, he actually has the disaster trailers that if somebody was displaced for a few days, one of the biggest problems we've had is placement of someone. You know, most people don't want to go to a shelter and sleep on a gym floor on a cot and have a family, so they're always requesting a hotel. And then we had a hotel room up here at Holiday Inn that got messed up by one of the people that got displaced today. And, you know, they were looking for us to pay for the damages, and it's just a bad situation. So we're looking at a place that's something temporary. If Jeff has those campers that you can bring them straight to their family, and it's hooked up to water and sewer and electrical, and has the heating, and it's a temporary fix till we can put them in something, but it's one of those situations where we gotta have a place tonight. Where are we sending this person to?
Mayor,
Yeah.
I believe I'd like to make a motion
Go ahead.
to support the county in this endeavor in the amount of $8,750.
I'll second that.
Got a motion?
That'll be half the cost of the
Be
truck.
half, and that gives the county, we got a second, right?
Yeah, you got a second.
That'll be half, and that gives the county another $2,250 to spend on supplies.
Okay.
Mayor, under discussion, would the council like to take that from asset seizure, or would we like to take that from capital savings?
Preferably assets.
That's what I'm thinking of, asset seizure.
You could actually contact DCJS on that. And I'm kind of like Eric, I know that a lot of our drug proceeds has to further the drug, has to follow that suit.
Yeah.
Kind of like us putting COVID bumper sticker on our cars.
It's kind of like you can't use it, yeah, by new cruisers, but.
We'll do primarily from asset seizure, secondary from capital
But if
savings.
there's a question, you could contact DCJS and get the.
We'll start with that category first and then go to the other. Okay?
Well, being an emergency vehicle, I don't think, there's gonna be much of a slap on the wrist.
Well, since we're paying half, does that mean the lettering on one side is down 11?
That would mean
The
we
sheriff's department on the other side.
So who would get 51%, who would get 40%?
Yeah, we can definitely
Just put our seal
that
on
on.
it.
We put the town seal on it.
Seal on there.
That would be great. I would love to have that. And like I said, anything I have, you know, Eric can walk in my office right now and get anything of additional. I mean, we have that relationship, and I have it with you all, and, you know, we work together. We serve the citizens of Russell County.
Do we have a motion and a second? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Should have shot for the 17.5, Sheriff.
Yeah. William's gonna fall over. Heart attack tonight.
Tell him he's still gotta find some money for you and put it towards the.
Yeah, tell him.
So we got a little bit, but we're
We're a little shy. That is a great idea to put the town on it. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, Bo can fix you up and make a sticker.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Short, you're up, big man. Up quicker than you thought, aren't you?
Man. Okay.
Hey, have you seen any fire trucks out there, dude?
Don't have very much,
I'm sorry, Drew. I'm sorry. Did you need to stop this? Okay.
No, I'm just listening.
Okay, I didn't know if you had, requests. Go ahead.
The major issue, for tonight's manager's report, our main thing to discuss is the, in your information packet, I put the letter from Virginia DEQ for the SSDS offer for our, smokes test that they did throughout the town that looks at the town sewer lines, manholes, basically the entire wastewater plant's distribution system on that. They come back, what passed the letter, they came back with a few different proposed improvements. The one that they did recommend was a manhole rehab and sewer line replacements. That total comes to $2.9 million. And DEQ, once we applied for funding on that, it's through the exact same Virginia Clean Water revolving loan fund that we're doing the wastewater treatment plant work with. They came back with $1,168,680 of principal forgiveness.
Which is off that 2.9?
Off of 2.9.
Okay.
Which would leave a difference of $1,753,020 to complete this work of the $2.9 million that's recommended by the Land Group. Like I said, this was rehab of the manholes and complete replacement of sewer lines. Basically, there is a study, it's in the council chambers back there. It's a super thick study if you want to look through it. Basically what they did is they go through, they smoke all the manholes in town, they inspect all the manholes in town, they camera the sewer lines, and they will identify those color coded. Either green's in good condition, yellow is in fair, orange is getting ready to be bad, red is already deteriorating. A lot of our older sections back in the Gypsy area, Bremer area, in North Church Street are the worst ones, manholes and sewer lines. What they'll do is they'll smoke those, and anytime you see smoke coming out of the ground, manhole, any one of those areas, that's where there's breaks or collapses in the lines. So they'll do some flow testing. They flow tested the different areas of town. And back in the perimeter section and over behind North Church Street, we average about 50,000 gallons, somewhere around in there, of flow on normal days. And when it rains, we get an inch of rain, it's closer to 1 million gallons. So that's how much water is getting into the sewer and manholes. So on normal days when it's not raining, that can escape the distribution system also. The reasoning for this principal forgiveness to be so much, if you remember, we applied for $6.7 million with the wastewater treatment plant and pump stations, and only received $600,000, basically 10% principal forgiveness on that. The reason this is so big, they did an entire pilot program over all of Southwest Virginia. And a lot of towns and municipalities, infrastructure was built at the same time, so everybody just fell on it about the same time. So they did an entire study and sent it to Richmond showing the millions and millions of dollars worth that needed to be replaced in our area. So this is why you're getting such a healthy principal forgiveness offer. This is a problem it's not going to fix itself, it's not going to get any cheaper, and it's probably the best offer we're going to get. EPA, the reason I put it in here now to look at is, if you remember back when we looked at the $6.7 million for the wastewater plant, I believe it was Scott that had the idea of phasing those so we could look at the other PERs that we had also, the water plant and the distribution systems. And this is one of those other sides of that EPA is putting some pressure on DEQ for capturing their offered money, basically what they're wanting to do. So they haven't corrected anything yet, but they're coming down, and soon they'll start pulling these funds back, and people will start using them. And
This is a 30-year deal, pretty much.
it's the same rate, it's going to do a 30-year term. You don't start paying on that loan until construction's complete. We have saved a little bit of money with the water side PER. We replaced fields, the Manor and Gay Avenue on our own, and budgeted that, so we've done that with no funding. And then another thing with this is this 2.9 number could be less because we can come in on top of that, and in any areas where you have over 51% LMI, you can apply for ARC funding for those areas.
So we need to basically accept this offer from DEQ. Is that what you're asking for?
Soon, I'm not saying you have to do it tonight. If we would like to try to schedule a water meeting at some time, to have a lane group come talk a little bit more. I know it's a lot of money to commit to, but it has to be, I would say by December, no later than December. If anyone needs some more information or would like to talk to anybody else, but I wouldn't push it back further than that.
Mayor, I'd like to see all of our projects that we've got forecasted and planned, and those funds that's been allocated, see those on maybe one document and make a decision to move forward. Now, this is, to me, I was really surprised in the principal forgiveness portion, so that's, I think it's a no-brainer, as long as we can continue to apply for funds, like Drew said, through ARC replacement, do any work that we can do ourselves in-house to save the funds, and be able to scale the projects as fits our town after consulting our public works director.
So are you wanting to call a water sewer committee meeting before the December meeting?
I'm just saying we could talk about it under finance and put it up for a vote in December. And get anybody that needs additional information, get it. Drew could invite him to the meeting if he wants to, if he thinks it's necessary. But that's, yeah, it's a lot of money to make a decision, in my opinion, tonight, a $2.9 million line.
Not only that, but to be able to see all those projects we have forecasted, like Scott said, I think that's gonna be an impact.
Clear up, I'm sorry, Scott said 2.9 million, is it 2.9 or 1 point?
2.9.
It's 2.9, but you're forgiving the 1.1 million, so the total loan would be 1.753
Okay,
after the forgiveness.
okay,
That's
so that's what I was going to know, right. Go ahead, sorry, Liza.
No, you're fine. That's really all I was gonna say, is just reiterating the fact of we really need to see wastewater projects, pump stations, the PER projects that we're gonna move forward with. We got a VDOT sidewalk project on Technology Park Drive that we're committed to. I think it's gonna be real important for us to look at that before we pull the trigger on the $1.7 million project. Even though, I mean, the pro is the majority of it's, or a big portion of it's being forgiven. That's a real asset for us to have in our back pocket. It was just like Drew said, sewer lines aren't gonna fix themselves, and we know our infrastructure's, it always needs maintenance, and it's beginning to become dilapidated, so we need to really take that into consideration.
Can you have the status list of all the projects by the December meeting?
I can, yeah, I think honestly, we have the pump stations, the water plant, all the improvements that we've already committed to, as I think right around 3.5 million, that's what the land group's working on right now. Those construction documents are supposed to be done in January of 26.
Okay.
The water lines themselves, we've pretty much taken care of the majority of that from the PER.
Yeah.
And then the water plant PER, we never received an offer from DEH for that. We applied twice and haven't received an offer back from them.
Okay.
Drew, have we went through the same process that we did before, where you meet with Billy and see, what he thinks? Because essentially, I mean, I have all the confidence in the world in Lane Group, but keep in mind, anything that they present to us, they're gonna make
It's really
10 to 20% administration for any funds that we do on these projects. So of course,
it's really probably more along sewer plant, what they see, than it is Billy.
Okay.
Because this is all I&I flow that's coming into the plant, flow in manholes. It's nothing really that building I'm gonna see is what they would water leaks and water mains break. It's more of, it's there. If you look at the study, you'll probably find what you're looking for. On it, it's got the pictures and that sort of thing. But this is one of those things you kind of have to not really rely on them, but just see the data instead of what they're working on, because they're not.
the reason I'm concerned is I don't recall on the PER that we did on distribution, the water plant, and the sewer plant, I don't recall talking about manholes being a huge expenditure at that point. So I don't remember that being, so I'm confused on why that wasn't identified 3 years ago.
I don't think it was part of the PER.
Okay,
I don't
just
think
water?
The water distribution was
Only?
part of it, yeah. But
Water distribution, no
the
sewer.
sewer, I think they knew this pilot program was coming down the line, so it wasn't part of it. Basically, the SSES was the PER.
Okay,
That they did.
so this is essentially the sewer side of.
Correct. Just distribution, nothing with the plant, no pump stations, nothing, just manholes and lines.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on this matter for Drew?
Drew, is there a cost analysis, like to show what kind of savings it would save the town over
It's
X amount of times to
more
make these improvements?
It's more of a environmental impact than cost savings from their side of it. Cost savings, maybe a little bit of electricity and chemicals at the water plant, but basically what they're showing you is anything that gets in those pipes, when there's not pressure from outside in, can get out the pipes. So it's more of a proactive than cost savings, more than proactive, so we don't have a manhole or a main sewer line collapse and everything backing up.
It's more preventive than.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So the second item was the Jazz Easterly exercise equipment. Got some of those in the information packet. Also looked at a couple of others, talked to Scott a little bit about it. And a lot of these are kind of stations with multiple workout machines or stations on them, I guess you would say, instead of the single station. I can get some of the single station prices also. The reason I did the multiple ones is because they cost about the same as the single. Yeah, but we'll look at getting those single. Have you been able to look at any, Shane, those pull-up bars and
Just the single ones in there, I mean, they're
$4,000,
$4,000.
How many would we need? Like, how many stations for that trail, Shane, do you think we could get by with to kind of match up? to
That's what I was telling Drew, some of those stations, they're still in relatively good shape. But there's some that's either need to be repaired or just need to be taken away, which is probably 4 to 5 that are just not salvageable. So I don't think you'd have to put a whole, and if you take them out, you don't always have to replace every station. And you can do them over time as well. I mean, there's folks that do use those, but not a lot of folks. But if we're gonna have them, we need to make them look good, look right. So, but, I mean, some of them do need to be taken out.
Well, that was my thought, though, is to take the old ones out and maybe just do like 4 to 6 single stations at some of those areas where you've got room to, you know, put a piece of equipment. You know, it's essentially a lot of basic stuff, like pull and push bars, you know, sit up.
Looks like I'm saying, some of those,
incline.
if you go look at them, they almost look new. A few of them, especially there on this side of the park. The ones as you go deeper into the park, those are the ones that are in more rough shape, and the one that's up on the trail, that needs to be taken out. But the ones that are on the side of, you know, the plant, those are in relatively good shape.
we'll continue with different options to replace those. A couple of project updates. The Gay Avenue water line's complete. We were working on getting the pressure test done on it. We pressure tested it once and we had a leak in the fire hydrant, so we get Little B to come back. We fixed the leak. We're going to get Little B to come back and pressure test that again. Once it holds overnight, we're going to go online with it. The Stoots sewer project is starting tomorrow. Whether they're supposed to start today, whether have them off, but they did say they'll probably be here tomorrow to start that. We'll have a land group inspector on site every day for it. Snow removal, unfortunately, we are fully stocked with sand. The salt beds are on the trucks and the plows are ready to load up. So we're getting prepared for that. The Rotary Club, November the 20th at 5 o'clock, we have completed their masonry work and installed their musical instruments out of Jesse. So they'd like to invite you all to a ribbon cutting. I think their orchestra will be out there. It's November 20th at 5 o'clock at Jesse Park. So they would, whoever come out there, they'd like to show their appreciation for all they've done to help them get that ready. The roll-off truck, the Mack roll-off truck was delivered today. Went out and checked it out at the shop. It was nice. They do not have the aluminum wheel package yet, but they are ordering it. Arnold's having it on question. Sitting in there. So it is on order. And I think that was all I had other than what we have in closed session for.
If you care to send us a reminder on that November 20th.
I thought I emailed everybody an invitation today.
Yeah.
You did, I got it.
I like that.
Maybe it's on the 19th, 18th, 19th.
Send it to me, yeah, on the 18th.
18th at
2
night.
hours before.
And
Okay.
it's
I'll
usually
do.
5 o'clock, right, Diane? 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I believe
It's
it's.
sort of And, that's all I have, unless anybody has questions on anything along. Thank you all.
I do want you to thank the guys for the efforts. How quickly they changed downtown from fall to Christmas.
Yeah,
They did a great job, and it is Christmas season.
we actually had to go back today too. We took all the flags down for the wreaths and Veterans Day tomorrow, so they're back to their food today.
Yeah.
I
Flags.
saw them, I couldn't understand what they were doing.
Yeah.
Okay, Chief,
I think you got a good bunch of maintenance guys.
we're
Best.
very blessed.
I remember years ago when there wasn't but 4 or 5, Jerry Hale, Magoo, Jeff Maxley, and Lobo Wolf.
Oh, we are blessed with our employees, for sure. Okay, Chief.
All right, just your numbers for October. Just to let you know, we had a total of 82 total summonses and cases, 15 total arrests, 10 total motor vehicle wrecks, 15 assist motorist calls, and a total of 623 calls for service, 12,021 total miles patrolled. I was going to let you know that the flashing speed limit sign we talked about last week, or last month, it's ordered, and they said it shouldn't take too long to get. Yeah, which it's mobile, so I mean, I think we usually thought about putting it there, but it can be moved to whatever location would be necessary, so, that shouldn't be too long getting in. One thing I wanted to let you know that I thought was a pretty good feat, how we had a recent, grand jury, and our ETF officer alone was responsible for 138 indictments. So, she's
Good job.
doing pretty good. Other than that, everything's going pretty good. Business as usual.
Thanks, guys. Tell him thank you.
Very good job.
You probably had something on that ETF thing.
Sure, go ahead.
Part of that Holston River Drug Task Force, Russell County, Matt and Tyler are leading this entire United States. They are leading it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Those two guys.
we talked about
Yeah.
that last month.
Yeah.
We got that word from BSP, and
That they are way ahead of everybody else on the cases and stuff, so.
It's making our community safer, isn't it?
Yeah, very much
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
Thank you for our
Appreciate you.
kids too.
Thank you. Mr. Taylor?
I don't have anything right now, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Mayor, also, Laura reminded me, also another event, the community Thanksgiving dinner
Oh, yeah.
will be at Lebanon High School, Thanksgiving Day at 11 a.m. So,
We're good to go with them, correct? Okay, this time I need to entertain a motion to go into closed session. Personnel and legal counsel.
So moved, Mayor.
That'd be
I'll second that, Mayor, under executive closed session, section 2.2-3711A, 1 personnel and 7 legal, sir.
Yes.
I'll second his motion.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand in closed session.